Hello everyone and welcome back to P-Town Throwdown. Today we speak to popular teacher and coach, Coach Somma. But first, before we get into that, we want to remind you guys to stop in and enjoy some great bagels at Bagel Supreme right here on Farview Ave in Paramus. They are the official bagel shop of P-Town Throwdown. Also, we would like to announce that P-Town Throwdown is the official broadcaster of the Paramus Spartans Pentathlon coming later this month. 5 big events over 5 months, and you can see all the action right here on P-Town Throwdown. Now, let's get into the interview.
Thank you, Hannah, for that introduction. My name is Pilar, and I'm here with Coach Somma. Coach Somma is a social studies teacher and a coach at Paramus High School, and he's been coaching for over 14 years. He has been a very successful assistant football coach and has helped coach football teams that played in state championships at MetLife in 2013 and 2014, and has also been a part of the only 10-0 regular season team back in 2018. He also has coached both winter and spring track for over a decade and has recently been named head coach for the winter track team. So we're going to start off with a couple questions.
Sounds good.
What are you hoping to see this upcoming spring track season?
Growth. I want to compete. I want to see my athletes improve and PR, and I want to eventually get the program to a point where we're more competitive in the league. We've always had some very good individuals who are very competitive on their own right. My expectations is to get the team as a whole to a more competitive level within our very, very good league for track and field.
And then speaking of winter season, this is the last week. Any thoughts about how our winter season went?
Went well. We competed. Because of the pandemic and everything, our schedule's been odd. So there have been some breaks in the schedule, and we had to contend with that, which made the season more complicated than it could be, because I'm kind of a sports purist. But at the end of the day, sports for me comes down to seeing athletes challenge themselves and compete and hit goals and things like that. And there was a lot of that. So I'm coming out of the winter season and going into spring feeling really positive about the direction that we're going in.
That's great. That's what we love to hear. And we know you're also a football coach here at PHS. How are coaching track and football different, or they're the same?
The competition level and my expectations for my athletes are different. The culture of track and the culture of football is the only difference that I would quote. Football's a very combative, very high intensity, in your face kind of game, and coaching that at times can lead to that. The downside of that is sometimes you don't get to know your athletes as well. I feel like the atmosphere that was established by the coaches before me for the track team is it's more of a familial atmosphere. And whereas the intensity of the competition is there, the coaching techniques, yelling and screaming, doesn't necessarily lend itself to track coaching, where a lot of it's mental and a lot of it's hyper focus on very small body movements and things like that. So there are differences, but at the end of the day with sports, it's the competition that kind of links it all together, and the reason I'm still around it.
Yeah, and then that kind of segues to our next question. What do you like most about coaching?
And I know it might seem as like a cliche answer, but you get to know more about your athletes, your students. It's a cool thing to be both a teacher and a coach, and you get to see aspects. Number one, I get to meet more young people that I wouldn't have met in the classroom. So I meet a bunch of people that I've never had in my history class, I've never had in my philosophy class, and you get to see students and young people excel at something that you would have never known that they were good at. That, and I truly believe that sports is a good thing for people. And this, I don't know if it's going to sound wrong, but learning how to lose is super important in life. And obviously I want my athletes and my teams to win all the time, but learning how to lose, I think, is really one of the most important lessons that you can get from sports. And you can't really do that in a classroom as much.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, failing is not the same as losing.
Yeah.
And not even many people fail. Now, as a history teacher, are there any kids who act differently in your class than on the track or on the field?
Without a doubt. And it's related to the last thing I was saying. It's you get to see a more full picture of the young people that are the reason that I come to work every day. So I'll have a kid who's really, really quiet in class, and then on the track he's tearing it up, and he's a totally different person. And the same thing for any of the athletes. I think you just get a deeper understanding of who these people are, and it lends it gives you a good picture of youth. Nobody's ever just one thing. You can see them as a student, and they might be one way there, and then when you get them out on the field or on the track or in the shot put circle, you see a totally different side of them, and that's an awesome thing.
Okay, and then also, what are your passions outside of coaching?
My family, really, my family. I put them first. I know that's cliche. I got a wife and 2 young daughters that they're awesome. They're a blast. I talk about them probably too much. Beyond that, it's probably the woods. I spend a lot of time in the woods, hiking and camping and stuff. And probably food after that. I love to cook and I love to eat, even maybe more than I love to cook. But so I'd put those 3 as big time passions outside of here.
I think those are pretty good passions. And then also, did you play any sports in high school or college?
I did. I did football, winter track, and spring track when I was in high school. And then when I was in college, I was lucky enough to be a part of the Montclair State football team for a couple of years. It was a treat. I think it set me up for coaching. It was a really, really good experience. I'm a huge advocate for anybody who has that opportunity to be a part of a sports program in college to do it. Really think it benefited me in a lot of ways.
That's great. And then is there anything else you'd like your students and athletes to know about yourself?
Yeah, join spring track. Join spring track. Come on out. About me, I don't know. I'm here for you. That's the way that I look at it. As a coach and as a mentor, as a teacher, sometimes coaches can be hard to approach or seem hard to approach. As a teacher in an AP class and things like that where there's a lot of pressure, they might not see the side of me that's really rooting for them. But, get to know your coaches a little bit. Most of us are just like me, wherein we just want to see our athletes and our students do well. So I kind of believe that I'm theirs. I work for them. So.
And now we're going to wrap up with some quick questions.
It is time! It's time for the lightning round!
You have 5 seconds to respond.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm bad under pressure.
Okay.
All right, we'll see.
All right, ready? All right. Favorite sport you don't coach?
Soccer.
Favorite NASCAR driver?
Ryan Blaney.
Highest mountain you have climbed?
Mount Marcy.
Favorite president?
Lincoln.
Least favorite president?
Johnson. He betrayed Lincoln. His policies. I only have 5 seconds.
Favorite food?
That's such a loaded question. Probably like a really good steak or a dish of pasta. I know that was 2.
Favorite food to cook?
Pasta, without a doubt. So many things you can do with it.
Most influential person / coach?
For me,
Yeah.
probably my dad.
Football or track?
Impossible. Both. Neither. You're not
know
going
if
to
you
get
can
me
do
by
that.
putting me on a timer.
Yeah.
There's no way I would pick between the 2. I love them both.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming out here. And then this is Coach Somma, everyone.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, right.
What is this?
I'm a huge fan, by the way.
For your
thank
time,
you.
our official sponsor, Bagel Supreme, has rewarded you with a Bagel Supreme gift card.
Excellent. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.